Hi everyone, Adam here. I just wanted to first say that I'm really enjoying watching all these videos that everyone's been posting. It's been really awesome, and it's been like the best book club ever, so that's been great. Um, the book that I'm going to talk about is The Blood Sugar Solution by Mark Hyman. Some of you might remember him. We watched a video that he made a few weeks back in this course. A little bit of background about him. He is a medical doctor. He's actually the chairman of the Institute for Functional Medicine. So he definitely is a big proponent of functional medicine. It comes up a lot in his work. He's the founder and medical director of the Ultra Wellness Center in his hometown of Lenox, Massachusetts. And he's been the New York Times best-selling author of many books, including Ultra Metabolism, the Ultra Mind Solution, the Ultra Simple Diet. So the Ultra thing is really his like little trademark that he goes for. He really touts the fact that he is the medical advisor to Bill and Hillary Clinton, and he's an active columnist with the New York Daily, and he's a very active video blogger as well. He has a YouTube channel with a lot of videos. Um, just to give you an idea of the prestige that he's kind of in, um, he does have a big line of not only books, but cookbooks and all different types of services that you can buy. You can go visit him for $1,800 for an 80-minute consultation. So that's kind of where he's coming from. Although his book does go into a lot of, check out my website or go, check out this other book of mine or whatever, it's not as bad as what Darcy was describing with the book that she read, The Virgin Diet. It's not constantly trying to sell products, but it's definitely a big part of what he's doing. Um, so he kind of lumps together diabetes and obesity into something that he's called diabesity, and that's kind of his cute way of just being able to say type 2 diabetes and obesity in one go, because that's what his book is all about. And he goes through some of the issues with today's food system. Um, he explains the link between diabesity and heart disease, cancer, dementia, stroke, kidney and nerve damage, other health issues. Um, the way that his diet plan works, it's actually interesting in that it's not as specific of a diet plan as a lot of other ones are. He does have steps and a week long or 6 week kind of like diet, I guess you could say, but it's a little bit looser in that he kind of just describes the types of foods that are good to eat more of and the ones that you should be staying away from, which I appreciate, that it's not so hard and fast with a lot of the categorizing of foods. He says that there's 5 causes of disease: poor diet, chronic stress, microbes, toxins, and allergens. And toxins and allergens are 2 things he talks about a lot, and I'll get back to those in a little bit. His 7 steps for treating diabetes is number 1, to boost nutrition, which has a lot to do for him with magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamin D. To regulate hormones is step 2, and he talks a lot about the effects of stress on the thyroid and thyroid hormones and sex hormones and how sexual dysfunction and impotence can come from diabetes and issues related with it. Step 3 is to reduce inflammation, and he points the finger at sugars, refined flours, and artificial sweeteners, glutens, toxins, stress, and sedentary lifestyle as being things that are boosting or bringing up inflammation in a lot of people. He talks about improving digestion with gut flora is number 4. Number 5 is maximizing detoxification. 6 is enhancing energy metabolism, and he specifically keys in on mitochondrial health there. Number 7, last of the 7 steps, is to soothe your mind, and he talks about relaxation techniques a little bit. He then goes on to describe his 6-week action plan, where he basically, and I think does a pretty good job of breaking up all the changes that need to be made into several steps, and he allows the patient to go through it week by week, so that it's not overwhelming all of a sudden. And I think most of us would agree to do this with people that we try to help, patients, family, or friends, to ease them into it. So he created a 6-week, basically, entrance into change. And so the first week he talks about eating your medicine, nutrition basics for everyone, and he talks about the difference between healthy fats and unhealthy fats, healthy carbohydrates and unhealthy carbohydrates, etc. Number 2 is to optimize metabolism with nutritional supplements, and this is the one thing that I kind of wasn't so hot about, and I'll talk about why. But he goes into a whole big old list of nutritional supplements and how much you should be taking, and talks about vitamin D, omega-3s, magnesium, ALA, chromium, biotin, acacia, hops, super fiber supplements, green tea, cinnamon. I mean, it's like a really long list, and I personally wouldn't really feel comfortable with just subscribing or prescribing all of these different supplements to whoever's reading your book, basically. Especially that he really gets in there and tells you how much of each thing's to be taking and stuff like that. So that was something that I didn't really agree with. Week 3, he talks about relaxing your mind and healing your body. He teaches about belly breathing and journaling, taking a media fast, which is something that a lot of us could probably benefit from. Getting enough sleep to help with, not letting stress build up and get too out of control. He goes into exercise for week 4, having fun with aerobic strength and stretch flexibility training. Week 5 is living clean and green. He teaches about a lot of the things that Pollen, writes about, which is sustainable, grass-fed, veggies, meats, whatever we're eating, to try and get really high-quality things that are clean. And then in week 6, he talks a little about how to personalize the program for yourself. One of the things I really was kind of didn't really connect with in his book is that for every week that I just described and for every step, he has like a little questionnaire where you can test yourself, a little quiz. And then at the end of it, he'll say, if you answered yes to 1 to 7 of these questions, then you're at risk. And if you answered yes to 7 to 12, then you definitely are, in a bad zone. And I found that once again to be a little bit oversimplifying things. Just because someone is tired in the mornings doesn't mean that they have a magnesium deficiency all of a sudden. And they might, and he does go and say, you may this and you may that. So he's careful with his language, but it's I feel like it really overinflates things and does what a lot of people end up doing with WebMD and things like that, where they go and they say, oh, I have a stomach ache, and then if you check WebMD for stomach ache, then you could start to think that you have stomach cancer. And so I think that that's kind of counterproductive when helping patients to kind of assess their health level. He does do a good job, though, in describing the types of foods that we should and shouldn't be eating and why. He goes into a lot of scientific detail and has a lot of articles that he cites. And so I thought that was good. There's a long bibliography and plenty of information for anybody that wants to dig deeper. And he doesn't really say anything that's too far out or unbelievable or controversial. It's mostly just good, solid nutritional advice. I would recommend that people read this, but I would definitely preface it with, hey, just take the information and don't worry about the quizzes, because that's really where it shines, is just providing good, solid information about nutrition. Thank you.